Hi, welcome back to Denelli Chic Handmade, and this week we're going to do a really easy pattern. And this pattern is going to be for the infinity scarf with a built-in flower, and what's great about this is that you don't have to crochet. So I'm going to show you how we're going to work this, and what you'll need is some shawl and a ball yarn. The color I'll be using today is called Prism, and this is gorgeous yarn. It comes in the peacock colors and has a little bit of metallic turquoise throughout. A darning needle, a pair of scissors, and a 46 pin or 48 pin knitting machine. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I'll meet you back when I have my machine set up. Thank you. Now that I've set up my machine, I'm going to put my counter at 0. I'm going to make sure that I have the black hook, and I'm going to go ahead and cast on by putting my yarn under every other hook, nice and slow. What's nice about this pattern is you don't have to use any waste yarn. And the other thing that's really nice about this yarn, it's a little bit on the thinner side, so it doesn't slip or usually have any issues. It usually cranks very easily, and it's like kind of like butter. So now I'm going to go ahead, and for the first few rows I like to watch it and make sure that everything takes. And this yarn is absolutely gorgeous when you see it all done. It has a little bit of twinkle in it. It's absolutely great. So now I'm going to continue on like this for 250 rows. And I'll meet you halfway through and show you how we roll up our work so that it doesn't get caught. And then if you don't have a hole in your table. So I'll meet you when I get closer to the middle of the project. Thank you. I'm currently on row 70, and as you can see, the bottom of my work is hitting my table. So unless you have a hole in it and you can just let it drop, if you don't have a hole, what you can do at this point, you could just start rolling it up so that it doesn't interfere with the knitting part and get jammed up on your work. So you just start rolling it up and just continue on, and when it hits the bottom again, you can just keep rolling it up so it stays out of your way. So I'm going to keep cranking away, and I'll meet you when I get to the end. So I had a little bit of trouble with my last video doing the ending part. So I made a little swatch of the scarf so that I could show you how to cast off. So once you get to the end of your project, you'll just cut the yarn, and then you'll slowly turn the handle, get your darning needle. Now, if you do need any darning needles, these are good, and I do have a link to where I got mine from Amazon below. I like them, they're metal, and they have the curves so you can pick up your stitches. Now, the first few stitches, I always pick a couple up, or actually in the beginning I'll pick up one and I hold this down so I don't want it to pop up. Do the same thing with the next one. And again, and I'll slowly crank. And again, I just made up a small swatch because I had a problem with my camera. It didn't record the last part that I did with the actual scarf. And again, you pick up each of the stitches by putting your needle through the 2 little red teeth. And again, you slowly crank, you can crank ahead a bit. Just keep picking up your stitches. Crank, pick up some more stitches. And this is how you just take your work off of the machine. And in the beginning, when you start doing this, it takes a little bit longer, but then once you get the hang of it, you just keep popping them off. So go slow in the beginning. You don't want to drop any stitches because then it'll start unraveling. And that has happened to me a few times. Probably more than a few, probably a bunch of times. Let's see. And again, this is just a little swatch just to show you how to cast off. Oops, excuse me. These make great gifts. And that's it. That's how you cast off. I'm going to move my machine. I'm going to take my work that I actually took out earlier. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to unravel this here. Not unravel, unroll. Sometimes my wording isn't perfect. Let's see. Okay, just flatten it out. You can see a lot of the pretty striping, and I don't know if you could see it on the camera, but there's a little bit of a twinkle. There's a metallic threading throughout. This is what the one I did the other day looks like. So now, I'm just going to take my darning needle. And I'm going to start just pulling this a little bit, just to give it a little bit of a gather on both sides. Okay. And I'm going to start like folding this together so that I'm forming a flower. Okay, just kind of crinkle it up. And you can see it's taking shape. Okay. Put this here. Get my darning needles, thread it. And now, and again, what's nice is you don't need to know how to crochet or anything. This is just all sewing. And if you scoot down a little bit in the yarn, you can make it a little bit bigger. And then you're just going to start sewing through all the gathers. Just sew through all the gathers. While you're keeping it together, just sew through the gathers. Just keep doing this. And you're basically like cinching it up. And you can see it's taking shape. Again, hold it together. And you're basically just kind of forming it as you go. Just keep going through all the layers. Another yarn that really works great for these is the, I think it's called the Unforgettable yarn. It comes in like really pretty shading, has a lot of nice colors, and so you can see you're just basically ruffling it up, and wherever you think you need a little nip, you nip it together. And there you go. It looks just like this. And I'll show you a picture of how it looks on a model so you get an idea. And that's it. That's how I did. We do a scarf with a flower, an infinity scarf. You could actually put a button in there too. That would look really pretty. So thank you very much for watching my videos. Please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you again next week. Thank you.